Hey there, we're going to start our first project in Photoshop. So I'm going to presume that you've already downloaded all of your images that you need for the sandwich project. And I've already opened up Photoshop. So now once you open it up, you're going to see all this stuff. You're going to see anything that you may have looked at recently in here. And we're not going to be creating a new file. We're going to be opening one because our background image is already created in a Photoshop document. So all we have to do is open it. So we're going to go ahead and click on Open. And you're going to go to your plate file, which if you notice, you look here and there's the file extension of PSD. So that's what we're going to go ahead and open. So we'll open that up. And you'll notice that when we open that file, we create a layer right here that says background layer. Okay? So we're going to leave that as the background, and we want to make sure that it stays there. So we're going to go ahead and click on it. And if I want to, I can go ahead and move this so that you can see there's a little padlock right there. So I can't do anything to this layer unless I unlock it. And so I want to keep it locked because I don't want to mess it up. So we're going to leave that as our background layer. So the next thing I want to do is I want to open up my bread. File open, and I'm going to go ahead and get my slice of bread and open that up. So now you notice I don't see my plate anymore because Photoshop kind of created a new section for me, which I don't necessarily want. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the tab. You see I have my slice of bread tab here, and then my plate tab is there. I want everything to be in the same place. So I'm going to grab my slice of bread tab and just pull it off to the side for a second. Oh, it didn't grab right for me. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my bread, not the tab, not this part of it. I'm just going to click right on the bread, grab it, and drag it onto my plate. And you'll notice down here, it's created a new layer for me. We still have background, but now we have our bread layer here. If I wanted to go back, and the bread layer is randomly out here somewhere else, the bread tab, I should say. But we have our bread layer here, and I want to label that. So I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to call it bread 1, because eventually there's going to be a top piece to our bread, and that would be bread 2. So if I want to zoom in on this and see this a little bit bigger, I'm going to click Command+. If you are on a PC, you're going to be Control++, or plus, or however many pluses you need to get it the size you want it. And we see it's here. It's on this white piece, which I don't really want anymore because I don't want that in my sandwich. So I want to get rid of that. So the easiest way to get rid of that is with a selection tool. And the selection tool that will probably work best for this with the fewest amount of clicks would be our Magic Wand tool. Our Magic Wand tool is over here on the left. And if you look on your left and you don't see it, just like Illustrator, it has extra tools underneath it. So we're going to click down here on the little triangle, and you see there's a quick selection tool. So you might see this tool to start with. When you click on the little triangle, you click there, and then now I can choose my Magic Wand tool. And I'm going to go ahead and click right in the white part because that's the cleanest area of it. I'm going to click on the white part, and that separates my bread from the background because all I want is my bread. What we're going to do now is I want to mask it off. Okay? I'm not going to erase this part or delete this part or anything like that. I want to mask it. And just like when you wear a mask, your face doesn't disappear, it's just hidden behind it. That's what this will do. It will just mask it off. So we're going to go down way low. Let's see if I can get this so you can see it. There's a little square with a circle on the inside of it. It looks like a little camera or a Japanese flag. And if I click on that, it will mask off the part I don't want. Except there's one little problem that you'll see when I click on it. It got rid of the bread and not the outside, which is not what I need. And the reason it did that is because with my Magic Wand selection tool, I selected the outside. I didn't select the bread. So I'm going to Command Z to get that back. And how I would switch that around so that I get rid of the white part instead of the bread, I'm going to go up here to the very top, which let me drag this down so you can see it, hopefully. I'm going to choose Select Inverse. Okay, and I think that top menu you may not be able to see. I think I've got it up high enough, perhaps. But your Select Inverse is what I did. And now that we've selected Inverse, I can go back down here and click on this Layer Mask tool. And it masks off the part I don't want now, okay? Because I did the inverse, the opposite of the selection that I already had. And so now you see I have another separate little icon here. And that's how I can tell when I look at it that you used a mask tool. So what you will do is you will repeat that process with each item. Now, let's say I don't want the bread like this or this size. If I want to transform it into a different size to scale it, what I would do is I'm going to hit Command or Control T, depending on what kind of computer you're using. So now if I Command T, I get this box around it so I can change the size of my bread. So if I grab a corner and just drag it, it should maintain its size. But in order to ensure that it maintains its proportions, I want to hold Shift while I'm doing that and drag the corner. Okay? I want to hold Shift. And so I can make a teeny tiny sandwich. I can make a bigger sandwich. Considering that I'm going to need to put some other stuff on here, I think that's going to be about the size I want. But you can make it whatever size you want as long as it works. If I want to rotate this, because last time I checked, we know we're not going to have perfectly straight bread, I'm going to click, and if I take my mouse right outside the corner there, my mouse turns into a little bit of a curve. And so now I can turn this a little bit, and I can move my bread wherever I want. And for now, I'm going to keep it there. Okay, I still have the box around here, so in order for this to go on, for me to be able to go on and do something else, I need to go back and click on my Move tool, click on that, and it's gone ahead and given me that selection, and it's applied the selection, applied the transformation to me. You'll notice you still see this little edge out here from where, from the white part that I selected off of. I'm going to want to get rid of that. So you're going to go ahead and grab your eraser tool and just make sure you are on the correct layer. We're on the bread layer. If I'm on the background layer, I'll be erasing the plate, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just go over here and very carefully remove all of that. I didn't realize I could be so steady. We'll see though. So we'll go ahead and remove all of that. If I accidentally take a chunk out of the bread, which is possible, I would just do Command Z, and that would take me back a step. Okay, so I'm going to want to have my next layer. I'm going to want my bacon. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do File, Open, and this time I'm going to choose my bacon and open that. And again, I have another tab. And again, I'm going to take that tab and just pull it off. And sometimes it doesn't, when you have that blue, it's going to go back into place, and I don't want it there. So I'm just going to take it off that way a little bit. And then I end up with this smaller sized. So again, I'm going to do Command plus 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 to get it the size I want. And I'm going to, again, go to the middle and drag it onto my bread. And you can see again here, I created another layer that I'm going to name bacon. And then I want to get rid of the bread again. Well, I might want to use my magic wand, and I'll click here, and you'll notice it doesn't get everything. So there's a couple different things I can do. I can use the magic wand and then just hold the shift key down and just click throughout it, and that way it will continue all my selections. Or I can use, if I can go back underneath the magic wand tool, I can use the quick selection tool. And what this will do is I'll click here and it will add to my selection, and I can kind of paint with it. There's a little tiny plus in here that I can use. And if I get out here too far, it's pretty smart and it's going to take me back. But if I do go out farther than what I want to, I can go up to the top and click on the minus part, and it will deselect part of that area. Okay, so I can paint all the way around here if I want, or I can just use the magic wand tool and do what I need to do. This was working pretty well, but honestly, I think magic wand is easier in this instance, just holding shift. But I'll go ahead and finish it, and it looks, I came over on the bacon over here, so that's where I'm going to go grab my minus tool and then take it back out to the edge. And so I have pretty clean edges. Again, if I just add the layer mask, I'm going to be minus the bacon and only with the white part. So what I'm going to do is do select inverse. I've got it. I'm going to click right here, and there we go, and then go back to my move tool. That bacon is looking kind of puny, so I'm going to Command T, hold shift. If I don't hold shift, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to mess up my proportions. And I do see that I have some stuff down here that I really don't like. So I may want to go back and redo my selection to make sure that I don't have this black stuff on the edges right there. So that's basically what you are going to be doing. There are other selection tools that you can try out. There are different lasso tools that you can try out as well. Probably not going to be using the rectangular marquee tool with this in any of these instances, but that's what you're going to do. So keep on making your sandwich and have fun.